everyone, today I'll be watching the oldest Pokedex entries are Unhinged by M&J TV. Hi, I'm Maple. I like Pokemon. I've said before that I really like Pokedex entries, especially the ones that are unhinged and crazy and bit fucked up. Kinda like me. Anyways, excited to watch this with you guys. I'm gonna go to the react corner now. Ugh.
Greetings, Pokefans! Michael here, and over the years I've done several videos shortly after the release of new Pokemon games where I cover crazy, weird, and interesting dex entries from those new games. But today I'm going back to the oldest games to cover some wacky dex entries that you might have missed.
Oh, okay, so, well, it says the oldest, so that means it's gonna be a lot of red and blue, I guess? And I guess Gen 2, anything Gen 3 and older would be like pretty old now. When did Pokemon Emerald release? Give me a second. Pokemon Emerald release date. Japan? 2004. I like to live in ignorance. I'm closing that.
Here is every Pokedex entry from Red, Blue, and Yellow that I thought was worthy of note. Ivysaur's Red and Blue entry says, when the bulb on its back grows large, it appears to lose the ability to stand on its hind legs. What are you talking about? Lose the ability to stand on its hind legs? This is the only game where you actually see Ivysaur on its hind legs. But then it also seems to be implying that standing on its hind legs is something that Bulbasaur like regularly does.
Yeah, I feel like I don't see Bulbasaur actually stand on its hind legs, and plus, when it needs to do anything anyways, it kind of just uses its vines.
But we've never seen that in the games. Like, the closest we get is this sprite here where it's just mid-jump. Charmander's Red and Blue entry says, obviously prefers hot places. When it rains, steam is said to spout from the tip of its tail. Obviously prefers hot places. Then why say it? Wartortle's Yellow entry says, when tapped, this Pokemon will pull in its head, but its tail will stick out a little bit. This is just an amusing mental image.
It's just cute.
Pidgeot's Yellow entry says, this Pokemon flies at Mach 2 speed, seeking prey. Its large talons are feared as wicked weapons. This is a somewhat famous fact already, but it's still worth mentioning. You mean to tell me that this bird can fly at twice the speed of sound?
This was actually relevant. I was playing Pokedex. It's like a daily Pokemon like game, and Pidgeot, I believe, was one of the description Pokedex. Let me just find that right now, actually. I was playing this game, and the description part, it was actually a Pidgeot's like entry. And it took me like 8 guesses because I was like, there ain't no way it flies that fast, right? It's gotta be another Pokemon. Nope. It was this one. I will never forget this fact now.
Though its base speed stat is only 101, extrapolating, that would imply that Hoot Hoot can fly at exactly the speed of sound. Rattata's Yellow entry says, will chew on anything with its fangs. If you see one, it is certain that 40 more live in the area.
So basically it's telling you you have a rat infestation. Bro, Palatown's fucked.
That's pretty unnerving and just reinforces my desire to not live in the Pokemon world. Raticate's Red and Blue entry says it uses its whiskers to maintain its balance. It apparently slows down if they are cut off.
That's like pretty normal, I want to say, for like, you know, animals that tend to have whiskers. Like, for example, they say like you should never like obviously cut off the whiskers of like, I don't know, a cat, right? Because it uses it to balance and maintain, I guess, its ability to, God, there's like a word for it. I'm trying to think of it right now. Oh, spatial awareness. Well, not a word, 2 words. Yeah. Yeah, it uses it to like navigate its life, and I'm pretty sure it also has like nerves in there. I don't own a cat. I wanted one as a kid, but I ended up just asking for a fish and never getting that, but you know how it is.
I simply just thought that was interesting. I've never encountered that fact before. Fearo's Yellow entry says, a Pokemon that dates back many years. If it senses danger, it flies high and away instantly. When I first read this dex entry, my thoughts were, what do you mean dates back many years? You know, like most animals? What are you saying? But then many years later, it got a dex entry in Moon version that elaborates. Drawings of a Pokemon resembling Fearo can be seen in murals from deep in ancient history.
So when they meant many years, they meant many, many years.
Okay, so Firo
Yeah.
has been around for a while, seemingly longer than other kinds of animals. Arbok's yellow entry says the frightening patterns on its belly have been studied. 6 variations have been confirmed. Weirdly enough, this is exactly correct. Kind of. Variation 1 is what it looks like in most places. Official art, 3D models, most of its sprites, etc. Variation 2 is seen in its gold, silver, crystal, and ruby, sapphire, emerald
Oh,
sprites.
the eyes. Yeah. It looks like eyes instead of like pupils, you know, instead of like hearts.
Where the eyes have black dots and the mouth has a red area. Then variation 3 is seen in its red and blue sprite, which is close to its most common appearance, but the eyes are different. The variation 1 eye pattern from outside in goes black, red, yellow, but variation 3, if it was colorized, would be black, yellow, red, yellow. Now this is only 3 variations, but if you count shiny Arbok as different, then it's 6 variations, which is funny because this dex entry was written before shinies existed. Well, actually, before shinies existed causes a problem, because it means that variation 3, the red-blue sprite, doesn't actually have a shiny version. However, variation 2 has 2 shinies, since Gen 2 shiny Arbok differs from Gen 3, having purple eyes and mouth instead of blue. This extra shiny can fill in the gap and thus give us exactly 6 variations. Nidorena's yellow entry says, when resting deep in its burrow, its thorns always retract. This is proof that it is relaxed. I just didn't know that the spiky parts of Nidorina could retract. That is just simply interesting. Nidoking's red and blue entry says it uses its powerful tail in battle to smash, constrict, then break the prey's bones.
He's 4 feet tall.
Hello, it is I, Smol Maple, and I'm here to tell you, subscribe!
I thought he was taller. Oh my god. Well, that's like 4'7". I know someone that's like 4'11". Miwa's taller than like Nidoking. That's crazy.
Ooh, kind of graphic, Nidoking. I feel like, did you really have to smash, constrict, and break the bones? I feel like one of those would have been sufficient. Then its yellow entry says its steel-like hide adds to its powerful tackle. Its horns are so hard, they can pierce a diamond. I'll say it, I find that hard to believe. Haha, it is I!
Oh my god. It's Grunty Boy. Smol, you can do your job. Come here, Smol.
Whoa. Hi, it is I, Smol Maple. I'm here to watch the Grunty Boy segment, and I'm here to do my job. Hi, I'm Smol Maple. I am a creature that lives inside of Big Maple's closet, and she takes care of me. I eat her food, use her credit card. I'm a freeloader. That's my job. It's the best. Hi.
Oh, Grunty Boy. Are you okay? My back is killing me.
That
It
sucks,
gets better
bro.
throughout the day, but every morning I wake up grunting like my name was... Well, actually, that sounds like a mattress problem. I actually just got a new one from Helix, the sponsor of today's video, and it's been fantastic. They're premium mattresses customized to fit your needs, and they ship right to your door. Ooh, I could use an upgrade, but I don't know how to pick one. You see, I
You think the mattress fits in Big Maple's closet? I hope so.
stole my current mattress, so I never had to shop. Lovely. Helix has a sleep quiz you can take, putting in your
Don't do crime. Unless your name is Smol Maple.
and your partner's measurements, preferences, and current issues, and they'll match you with the best mattress for you. I got the Midnight Lux. And you've been enjoying it? We have. It showed up to my door conveniently rolled up in a box with free shipping since we're in the US, so once we unpacked and unrolled it, we were set. We've been using it for a couple weeks now and really enjoying it. We're both side sleepers, and it lets our shoulders sink in just the right amount to not cause shoulder cramps. My back has also been feeling a lot better in the mornings.
Happy
that
for
sounds
you.
Great.
Okay, not for you.
Buying a home mattress though, that's a big commitment. What if I don't like it?
Why are you scared of commitment? Be committed.
They have a 100-night sleep trial to test out the mattress and ensure you love it. Plus, they have a 10-year warranty and offer flexible payment plan options and financing.
All right, you've convinced me, you charmer, you. What do I do to get one?
It is an excellent time to get a Helix mattress thanks to their Memorial Day early access sale. From now through May
Memorial Day. When was this video uploaded? 2 years ago. According to Big Maple's calendar, it is Memorial Day in like 3 days. That's crazy.
12th, get 30%
We were
off
meant to watch this video now. Woo!
Luxe and Elite mattresses plus 2 free pillows, or take advantage of 25% off site-wide. Simply head to helixsleep.com/MNJTV, linked in the description below.
Excellent. I will get one ASAP and return the one I stole years ago.
As much as I want you to remedy your wrongdoings, they are not gonna want that mattress back.
That is fair. I am quite sweaty. Ta-ta.
I was gonna ask for it, then he said he was sweaty. I don't want it.
Oh!
Ninetales is
Oh! My job here is done, and so I'll take my leave. Bye, everybody. Big Maple's coming back now. Woo!
She did good, right? She's really good at her job. Don't worry about the spinning thing. Trust me, she likes it.
Red and Blue entry says, very smart and very vengeful. Grabbing one of its many
She's just like me. Vengeful. Not the smart part. The vengeful part.
tails could result in a 1,000-year curse.
That's like one of the facts that I learned not from the Pokedex, but from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team or Blue Rescue Team, whichever one you played. This one. I remember this one from Red Rescue Team because there was that one quest where we had to go see the Ninetales. I forget what it was called, but it was in like a frosty forest or like a cold cave. It's a very cold place, you know? I remember we had to go see the Ninetales, and we ended up, oh my god, spoilers for maybe a 20-year-old game. We had to duke it out with Team Alakazam, and Ninetales was like, what are you guys doing? Stop. You're not that bad human.
That seems like an overreaction.
No.
And also, like, what's the curse? I feel like there's a lot of variations there. Like, bad luck? Stinky armpits? Who knows? And who's even gonna live that long? Then its yellow entry says, according to an enduring legend, 9
Okay, but have you considered that maybe it curses your bloodline? You know?
noble saints were united and reincarnated as this Pokemon. How would you like it if your reward for living a noble and upstanding life is having to share a fox body with 8 other dudes? Yeah, I wouldn't like it either, so the 1,000-year curse is actually making more sense. Wigglytuff's yellow entry says its body is full of elasticity. By inhaling deeply, it can continue to inflate itself without limit. Without limit? How big can a Wigglytuff get? Golbat's red and blue entry says,
Oh wait, Golbat!
limit? How big can a Wigglytuff get? Golbat's
Look at his art! Golbat, especially in the earlier gen, always has like the freakiest art. It's the best. Wiz, can you put like the sprite that everyone knows for Golbat in Gen 1 on screen? Thank you, right here. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Look at him.
Thank you, Wysp.
red and blue entry says, once it strikes, it will not stop.
Oh, never mind. You don't have to do it. It's right here. But like, can you like... Well, if you already did it, that's cool also. Thanks, you're the best, bro.
Draining energy from the victim, even if it gets too heavy to fly. Draining energy? Not quite. Its yellow entry says, it attacks in a stealthy manner without warning. Its sharp fangs are used to bite and suck blood. This thing packs itself full of so much blood that it cannot get off the ground. It is a bag of blood. Ew. But also, like, it'd be worse to see its victims.
Okay, but like, as far as it's concerned, any human that walks up to it and it's hungry is like it going to an all-you-can-eat. It's gonna get its money's worth. It's a bat.
Yellow entry says, smells incredibly foul. I love the excitement of the exclamation point there.
Yeah,
However, around 1 out of 1,000 people enjoy sniffing its nose-bending stink.
To me, that feels like I don't know, I feel like it's not exactly 1 in 1,000 people, but back in like elementary school, I want to say like half of the class really liked sniffing Sharpie markers, and I just couldn't understand it. So I was like the other half that didn't like it. But some people really like Sharpie markers. Like, and by like really, I mean like my Sharpie markers were stolen from me and I saw them sniffing it. Man, elementary school's kind of fucked.
That is kind of fun. I'm gonna be real. I bet most people think those people are weird, which I guess they are.
I thought
but
they were
It reminds
weird.
me of that thing where like somewhere between 4 and 14% of the population thinks cilantro tastes like soap. It's kind of like that, but
That's like a genetic thing though, right? I don't know, is like Sharpie marker sniffing like genetic too? Like, I feel like it shouldn't be, but yeah.
in reverse, a minority thinks it smells good, and it's also way rarer. I just think it's funny that like one company could make gloom-scented candles, and they could just kill it with an extremely niche market. Golduck's red and blue entry says, often seen swimming elegantly by lake shores, it is often mistaken for the Japanese monster Kappa. I think it's weird when Dex entries mention mythical creatures that are not Pokemon.
Yeah, well, that's like what the older Dex entries tend to reference. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure Arcanine's Dex entry references like China. And then eventually along the way, Pokemon Company decided maybe we shouldn't include countries, IRL.
Like, I kind of get it. Like, we have mythical creatures in our world, even though we have animals, and Pokemon are the animal equivalents. But like, a lot of times when you hear about the myths in the Pokemon world, the myths end up being real. They end up being like more Pokemon. But this one is, it's just a duck. Oh, you know what it is? Ludicolo. Ludicolo's inspired by Kappas. It's got a duck bill, kind of like Golduck. These people have heard about Ludicolo. Translation turned it into a Kappa. Thought Golducks were Kappas. I get it. Arcanine's yellow entry says,
Oh, yeah.
a legendary Pokemon in China.
This video is not pre-watched. I just remembered it because the other one referenced Japan. It's not pre-watched. I remembered this one.
Many people are charmed by its grace and beauty while running. It's always jarring when a real-world location is mentioned. They don't do that anymore. In fact, this exact Dex entry was repeated in Let's Go, but China was changed to the East.
The East!
Which is odd, because Kanto is based on a part of Japan, which is further east than China. Poliwag's red and blue entry says its newly grown legs prevent it from running. It appears to prefer swimming than trying to stand. I've hatched Poliwag eggs before. Their legs are already there. How could they be newly grown when they're there from birth? Okay, I guess I shouldn't read too far into this. I mean, you hatch a Kangaskhan egg and it's already got a baby in its pouch. Poliwrath's red and blue entry says an adept swimmer at both the front crawl and breaststroke. Easily overtakes the best human swimmers. I'm just tickled at this animal doing human swim strokes. Kadabra's yellow entry says, many odd things happen if this Pokemon is close by. For example, it makes clocks run backwards. Yeah,
Okay.
That is odd. Alakazam's red and blue entry says, its brain can outperform a supercomputer. Its intelligence quotient is said to be 5,000. You've probably heard this one before, but let me
I have. Also from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
show you its yellow entry before we dive deeper. A Pokemon that can memorize anything. It never forgets what it learns. That's why this Pokemon is smart. Wait, what? IQ and memory are not the same thing. IQ is someone's reasoning ability, how they take in new information and then analyze it, whereas memorizing is memorizing. It's memory. It's can you remember things? These entries together don't make Alakazam look smart. They make whoever wrote them, probably the kid adventurer, look dumb. Machoke's yellow entry says, the belt around its waist holds back its energy. Without it, this Pokemon would be unstoppable. So like, why
you
does it
just-
wear the belt?
You can just take it off. I don't think I like that thought. I just thought it was part of its body. It could take it off.
It'd be a lot stronger if it didn't. Machamp's red and blue entry says, using its heavy muscles, it throws powerful punches that can send the victim clear over the horizon. Almost 10 years ago, oh my god, I actually made a video about this. Using projectile motion physics, I calculated the precise force a Machamp could punch with. I'll save you the click and tell you it's over 350,000 pounds, but hey, if you want to watch the early days of my Pokemon YouTube career, the video is still up. Victory Bell's red and blue entry says, said to live in huge colonies deep in jungles, although no one has ever returned from there. Huh, I wonder why. Its yellow entry says, lures prey with the sweet aroma of honey. Swallowed whole, the prey is melted in a day, bones and all.
Well, that makes sense. This is, it's the pitcher plant, right? Carnivorous plants? Yeah, no. It's in the name. They're carnivores.
Oh, that's why. We've always known that pitcher plants, which is what Victory Bell is based on, they kill their prey in a pretty gruesome way. But it's just another level of disturbing to have it explicitly spelled out that Victory Bell melts people. Golem's yellow entry says, once it sheds its skin, its body turns tender and whitish. Its hide hardens when it's exposed to air.
I didn't know it could shed. You normally don't expect your rock to shed. That's called erosion.
Forgive my ignorance, but I just still don't understand how the sentient rock and gravel Pokemon became a reptile that just sheds its skin like a reptile. Like, what happened? Ponyta's red and blue entry says, its hooves are 10 times harder than diamonds. It can trample anything completely flat in little time. Another mention of diamonds, and another doubt from me. Rapidash's yellow entry says, just loves to run. It just loves to run.
It's a horse. What do you expect? That's the entry. It's a horse. That's my horse.
Man, Slowbro's yellow entry says,
oh wait.
It just loves to run, man.
Slowbro looks like he's hitting the 07 pose, like a salute.
Slowbro's yellow entry says, lives lazily by the sea. If the shelter on its tail comes off, it becomes a Slowpoke again. This claim has been around since this Dex entry. This is what started it, and I just don't get it. Like, if the shelter comes off, is it suddenly, like, does it go back to looking normal? Or does it stay that cone shape? And then, like, yeah, Slowbro going back to Slowpoke, that makes more sense, but Slowbro has different lengthed limbs, he's got a different belly, it's just like, I feel like this has never happened, and they're just...
And also, Slowbro has, like, 3 claws on each paw thing. And Slowpoke only has 1.
He's got a different belly, it's just like, I feel like this has never happened, and they're just making stuff up.
Yeah.
Magneton's yellow entry says,
sometimes in the early game, they just lie to your face, and then you're too young and stupid to understand. And then you grow up, and you're like, oh, they just were making shit up. Awesome.
Generates strange radio signals. It raises the temperature by 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit within 3,300 feet. When I first read this, I thought those numbers were oddly specific, but then I realized 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit converts to 2 degrees Celsius, and 3,300 feet converts to 1,000 meters. Doduo's yellow entry says, its short wings make flying difficult. Instead, this Pokemon runs at high speed on developed legs.
It has wings? Sure.
Just so many questions. First, short wings? What wings?
Where?
How short are they?
That's what I said!
And flying wings? What wings? How short are they? A micro?
Insert Smol! Okay, I didn't read the wing part, but I saw insert Smol. Wait, I got this. Yeah! Okay.
Meter? And flying difficult. This thing can learn fly. Somehow, Doduo can fly you from town to town. So what do you mean flying's difficult? It makes sense that it would be difficult, but apparently it's not. Muck's red and blue entry says, thickly covered with a filthy, vile sludge. It is so toxic, even its footprints contain poison. Hold on.
Feet. It has them. The feet. Also a line I took from Mystery Dungeon, by the way. For the Diglett. After you save the Diglett, it tells you, it felt like my feet were floating on the air. Feet. It has them.
What do you mean covered in sludge? Muck just is the sludge, I thought, but apparently it has feet under there somewhere, which also doesn't make sense. Pokemon get footprints in later games. Muck does not. What's going on here? Cloyster's yellow entry says, for protection, it uses its harder than diamond's shell. It also shoots spikes from the shell. What is it with the diamonds? Haunter's yellow entry says, by licking, it saps the victim's life. It causes shaking that won't stop until the victim's demise. I mean, you can't have a crazy Dex entry video without a very disturbing ghost type one. There's only 3 ghost types in this whole region and we still got one in there. Onyx's red and blue entry says, as it grows, the stone portions of its body harden to become similar to a diamond, but colored black. Diamonds again! Also, but colored black? What? Huh? I've never seen a black Onyx. That actually sounds super cool, and I do want to see that. Before I go to the next entry, real quick, I have a favor to ask. Please check if you're subscribed. If you've watched this far into the video, you probably watch my videos regularly, which I really appreciate, but you may think you're subscribed when you're not, because YouTube's actually pretty good at showing you videos it thinks you want to see. So do me a favor, double check if you're subscribed, turn on notifications if you're interested in that, and yeah, that's it. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get back into it. Kingler's yellow entry says, one claw grew massively and is hard as steel. It has 10,000 horsepower strength. However, it is too heavy. How was the power measured if it's too heavy to do anything with it? It just like laying there, then it like crushed something? I don't know.
I guess.
Cubone's red and blue entry says, because it never removes its skull helmet, no one has ever seen this Pokemon's real face. No one has ever seen it completely unobstructed, but we do have this official art of it. Marowak's yellow entry says,
oh my god, it's bowling!
Completely unobstructed, but we do have this official.
Let me move. Wait, not like that. Blah. Huh. It's so upset.
Official art of it. Marowak's yellow entry says, small and weak, this Pokemon is adept with its bone club. It has grown more vicious over the ages. Marowak's life is hard enough. Why the shade calling it small and weak? I mean, it's not wrong. Its base stat total is bad for a fully evolved Pokemon, and it's only like 3 feet tall. But maybe us being mean to it is why it got so vicious. Weezing's red and blue entry says, where 2 kinds of poison gases meet, 2 coughings can fuse into a wheezing over many years. Many years? Annoying the obvious logic problem of normally a coughing into wheezing evolution being instant, can you imagine slowly fusing with something else over the course of years? Like, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Rhyhorn's red and blue entry says, its massive bones are 1,000 times harder than human bones. It can easily knock a trailer flying. Well, at least it didn't compare them to diamonds. Staryu's yellow entry says, as long as the center section is unharmed, it can grow back fully even if it is chopped to bits.
How did they find this out? Man. Man, how did they find this one out?
Who would chop such a nice little Staryu to bits? But also, that's super impressive. Jinx's red and blue entry says, it seductively wiggles its hips as it walks. It can cause people to dance in unison with it. It's kind of insane to me that the word seductively is anywhere in Pokemon's code, but they actually repeated this in Leaf Green and then changed it after that. This Dex entry is an X version, and the word seductively is just gone.
Yeah.
Magikarp's red and blue entry says, in the distant past, it was somewhat stronger than the horribly weak descendants that exist today.
You damn kids nowadays don't do anything good. That's basically what the entry says.
I'm kind of bummed we didn't get a Magikarp Paradox form that's like extremely good. Lapras's red and blue entry says, a Pokemon that has been overhunted almost to extinction. It can ferry people across the water. This may have been true at the time, but it's not anymore. Its entry in Ultra Moon says they've been so cherished that there's now an overabundance. The fish Pokemon population has declined in waters with too many Lapras. When conservation goes too far! It is actually nice that they like saved Lapras from extinction, but you know, it caused some
Yeah, they might have overcompensated a bit, but that's a cute entry update.
other ecological imbalances, so that's not great. So we should kill some Lapras. Eevee's yellow entry says its genetic code is unstable, so it could evolve in a variety of ways. There are only a few alive.
Okay, so like, again, more conservation. Now there's a lot of Eevees, right?
That's just definitely not true. At least not anymore.
Yeah.
It was in the games, you can get the one gift one. But now you can get so many Eevees. Jolteon's yellow entry says, a sensitive Pokemon that easily becomes sad or angry. Every time its mood changes, it charges power. No wonder Jolteon is so popular, it's in touch with its emotions. Porygon's yellow entry says, the only Pokemon people anticipate can fly into space. None has managed the feat yet, however. Unlike the entries for Lapras and Eevee, this is still true. Its Ultra Moon entry says it was built 20 years ago by scientists who dreamed of exploring space. Their dreams have yet to come true. Bummer for those scientists. But if we move over to Shield, in recent years, this species has been very helpful in cyberspace. These Pokemon will go around checking to make sure no suspicious data exists. Not outer space, but cyberspace. That's a pretty solid substitute. Omastar's red and blue entry says, a prehistoric Pokemon that died out when its
Oh my god, look at Omastar's pose! Slay, Queen, slay! It's like, that's the pose! Holy shit!
heavy shell made it impossible to catch prey. Kind of funny and sad that it died out not due to environmental factors, but because evolution screwed it over. Kabutops' red and blue entry says, its sleek shape is perfect for swimming. It slashes prey with its claws and drains the body fluids. Gross. That's it, just gross.
Yeah.
Aerodactyl's red and blue entry says, a ferocious prehistoric Pokemon that goes for the enemy's throat with its serrated saw-like fangs. Right for the throat is, that's pretty specific. Dratini's red and blue entry says, long considered a mythical Pokemon until recently, when a small colony was found living underwater. Then in yellow, the existence of this mythical Pokemon was only recently confirmed by a fisherman who caught one. I just love the absurdity of them claiming, wow, we weren't even sure this Pokemon existed, when one of the Elite Four members, one of the most famous people in the region, had multiple evolutions of it. Also, was it a fisherman catching one, or was a colony discovered? Did a fisherman catch one and that led to the colony? Tell me more, I don't understand. Dragonite's yellow entry says, it is said that this Pokemon lives somewhere in the sea and that it flies. However, it is only a rumor. What?
Only a rumor! Only a rumor. Not confirmed. Ignore Lance for a bit. Only a rumor.
Lance has one! Just ask him! Then finally, Mewtwo's red and blue entry says, it was created by a scientist after years of horrific gene splicing and DNA engineering experiments. We obviously have known the origin of Mewtwo for a very long time, but this is the first time I've heard anything about it described as horrific. I mean, I guess I inferred that, but like this is laying it out pretty clearly, and
Yeah.
no wonder it's so aggressive. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos of crazy dex entries and other games, please let me know. This is kind of an experiment. Maybe it's a series, maybe it's not, who knows? But if you want to see more of my videos, there's one on screen that YouTube thinks you'll like. YouTube's pretty smart about recommending stuff, but that is all I have for now. So until next time, big fans. Gotta
Bye.
catch them all.
Hi, yo, gang. I watched the one on the left side already. So, thank you guys so much for watching this with me today. I hope you guys also enjoyed Smol Maple that likes to talk over the grunty boy sections. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Ah, bleh. Okay, bye. Bye.